and I've had lots of community, I'm getting gas or something. I've had a lot of people come up to me and say, hey, thank you for having that on there. It helps family members and whatnot. Lets people realize that there's people out there that function differently than we do.
Well put.
And just to, keep them in mind. So we had a new car come in, and the chief was, now we moved from magnets to stickers because we kept losing the magnets in the car wash. so we got stickers now. So I'm out there with the chief. He's putting the sticker on the car, and I looked at it, and I remembered seeing, it pops in my head, I remember a number of years ago now, I stopped the car, and as I walked up to it, I don't remember the exact wording on the sticker, but there's a sticker on there that indicated that the child in the car had autism. So I got up, I started talking to the driver real quick. I got his license and whatnot, and I scanned in the car, and there was a child in the back. So I asked, I said to the driver, is this child that the sticker's for? And he said, yeah. So one of the things I did was when I got back to the car, I turned off the front lights. That way they weren't strobing on him. Just something I, thought to do to make it less stressful in that car. Keep my rear lights on to keep me safe. So when I saw the chief put the sticker on, I thought about that one. And then our PBA also sends out stickers, police PBA supporter stickers every year. You get donations from it and whatnot. And it used to be an every other year program, but then people were calling saying, hey, we didn't get any stickers this year. They want the stickers. Everybody likes the PBA support stickers. So, the idea came with, hey, why don't we combine all three of these things? So we had the basis of the autism support sticker. So I said, hey, chief, why don't we do this? Why don't we get a sticker that says, I didn't know what the wording was going to be at that point, but why can't we come up with a sticker that we can give to people that shows support for us, one, it shows support for them, and it also will let us know that the driver or somebody in that car, or they can put it on their front door in that house, has autism. So when we show up, we just have that little extra heads up, I say, when we walk in, that, you walk in and somebody's appearing to be combative or non-compliant, it might not be that. And so if you see that sticker as you go through the door, you might go, oh, wait a second. He's not being disrespectful. He's not, not responding to me to give me a hard time or to fight with me. He's autistic. He's wired doesn't know how he's supposed to properly react to us. We're an intimidating force coming in a lot of times. We got lights on, we got uniforms on. Sometimes there's more than one of us. So if the sticker was actually a lot of it is for us. It's to give us a heads up so we can properly react to the people we're trying to go help in a lot of cases.
Yeah, that's ideal. I think just having that sensitivity is almost, I think there's such an opportunity for the community to come together over something like this. It's kind of outside of the whole political realm and really helps not just the individuals, but the family, because I think there's a lot of stressors when you have a child, obviously. When you have a child that's not neurotypical, this world is set up for the neurotypical. So you're always kind of a little off. And just that sensitivity that you're offering is excellent. So how do people get these stickers in your community? What's your outreach for it? I mean, I saw the article in the paper.
We did a press release initially. Spectrum News then came and interviewed me. The local paper did a story on it, and I believe it's on our Facebook page.
It should be on our Facebook page and our website.
And people can just stop by and request one.
That's awesome.
There's no, you don't have to prove anything. You just show up, we'll give you a sticker.
Right.
We actually ordered 50 of them initially, and they went fairly quickly.
Yeah.
So we ordered another batch, and I think they're probably about half gone at this point. So there are a number of people that are picking them up, which is great to see.
Have you been approached by any other departments asking to possibly use that kind of sticker or?
No, I haven't. But with that being said, and actually our conversation and your email made me think, because I belong to several chief associations for both the Ulster County, the New York State, and Mid-Hudson, as well as the IACP. But especially for local, I'll bring this up at one of our meetings to let them know what our initiative is. If they want to make their own stickers and decals up with their logo on it, I think it would be a great idea. So thank you for putting that thought in my mind.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think it's good also for the community to hear from you guys, from people that are in the front lines and seeing like how you described the situation with the autistic student driving to school, and how many ways that something like that could go wrong if people aren't aware. So do you do any like department type training to make your force aware of what an autistic, maybe you mentioned this a little bit before, but to do any of that kind of inter-department awareness type things? Like you said, I really appreciated what you highlighted in the article about the prevalence of autism, 1 in 59. So, you're looking at your community and it's going to be 1 in 59, but that's also there's families and, relatives and yeah. So do you do any training in your department?
We do. I'm actually, I'm a police mental health instructor for academy training and for in-service classes. I'm a law enforcement disability awareness trainer, and I'm also part of the Ulster County Critical Incident Team Trainers Team, which that is, it's a group of us, it's officers and also mental health professionals who conduct the CIT training for agencies throughout the county. We put a class on last winter. I imagine we'll probably be doing one again next year. So that's outside, but within our agency, every other year, we do our first responder first aid training. That's a week-long training. During that week, I do a day or a day and a half of mental health training, which is CIT based, and so we do that. That stresses de-escalation when we're dealing with those that are mentally ill, and also getting them to services they need as opposed to arresting them and sending them to jail. And then the next coming training, which will be probably in the winter or spring, when we do that again, I'm going to add a section for autism awareness and add that into the training. The lieutenant and I have been working in conjunction on that for the last, about a month or so ago. We started talking about that to prepare for the next round of training.
Yeah.
So that's what we do in-house. And then I know in the academy, they're putting more stuff out with autism and just with disabilities in general. They're, adding stuff to the academy all the time.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. I truly am. I think it's so important. And yeah, again, the mental health piece too is just, it all seems to kind of go together with, who are these people in our community that might be a little off, not necessarily trying to commit, or their intents are a little different. I don't know how to word it, but has there been
I know exactly what you're saying.
Has there been any resistance from the community for any of these types of initiatives? From what you said already, the response has been great with the stickers, but in bringing this kind of initiative forward, has there been any, or has that been pretty collaborative?
For the most part, it's been good, but we have had a couple of negative feedbacks or input, I should say. For example, one individual didn't like something that was mentioned in the press release, the way it was worded. I believe the language in the press release was, number 1 out of 59 people suffer from autism or autistic. And the person didn't like the word suffer because she said many individuals are high functioning, which I agree. I mean, there's all different levels of the spectrum. My son works at a state facility, a residential home for autistic individuals. They're older, and many of them are very high functioning. We bring them actually to some Jets games because I'm a season ticket holder. So
awesome.
My son will call me like, "You have an extra ticket for this coming game? I have somebody I want to bring from the house." And I'm like, "Oh, absolutely." And so we've actually done that on many occasions. But so there are different levels of it, and
right.
But something like that, somebody else did not like the puzzle pieces anymore. They say now the new thing is circles, so they were taken back a little bit that we're using the puzzle. But the puzzle is still used, but I guess it's starting to change. I guess circles are more considered together rather than missing pieces. It's more of a circle connection. So we'll consider that in future as we go forward with our program. We listen to what the input is. We don't take offense to it because everybody has the right to their opinion, and some suggestions can be great.
That's beautiful.
I think that's the most part. Somebody else thought that we were making money off the stickers and didn't think it was appropriate. And I said, no, they're not being sold. We would never do that. They're free. It's really an awareness for emergency services as well as a comfort. Somebody else complained they thought that we were making people that have autistic family members take them.
Right, like it was a label that they had to.
Right.
Yeah. Yep, I can see why that might come up.
Sure. And we said, no, absolutely not. This is totally a voluntary thing. If you want emergency service to be aware that you have somebody in your residence or in your vehicle, feel free to use them. If you don't want, that's fine too. I mean, part of our training that we do and will continue to do is still to try to identify, why somebody may be reacting a certain way. And Officer Krause does a fantastic job with, the mental illness training that we do. And so this is just another piece.
Wow. Yeah, I'm really impressed with just both of your attitude and, being open to their experience and their feedback on wording. I've kids with issues, and I've worded things wrong in communities, and at first I'm like, I didn't mean it that way or whatever, but then I have to pedal back and think about the language, and it's just society is changing really quickly in this area, so it's hard to keep up. And so I can see why that would be a complicated thing to put out there. And you hit on really very important concerns of people in the autism community, that there is, some people are embracing it, neurodiversity. We're all different, and this is how we're wired. We function, why should we change type thing. And then at the other end, there's people that definitely are going to need a lot of help and services in order to have any kind of a quality of life. So you're really hitting a huge range. So you're inevitably going to not make everybody happy. And I think it's great what you're doing. Anything else related to this, or your thoughts on promoting it as far as it's going to come out on the podcast. Now, I don't have a huge following, but people might be interested in finding out about it and possibly duplicating. So I hope that is going to be something that you guys are considering.
Yeah, well, I think that, they can feel free to contact us here at the police station in New Paltz. I can give you our email addresses as well.
Okay.
So if anybody wants to contact us, via
Great.
email, you have them. So good,
right.
Good. You can feel free to display that so that if somebody has questions, or if somebody would like, to offer our sticker for their community to bring to their local law enforcement or any emergency services, they're welcome to. We don't have a copyright on it, and we're happy to share it. One of the things that I remember before we started putting the original magnets on the cars, we had a local student at the New Paltz High School who was working on a project and asked me if she can design a autism in law enforcement training guide. And it was for a class project, and I was like, that would be wonderful, if she would do that. And she did such a nice job, and I actually just pulled it back out because I haven't used it in a while. The last time we had a training, I think it was in 2013, when I actually went over some of this in one of the trainings. And then shortly thereafter, we started with those autism awareness stickers. And I'm looking at this paper. I just pulled it back out of my file, and I don't see her name on it. And I wish I could find it because I'd like to recognize her for this, because I think that was also a starting step for us, because it shows the importance. I don't know if, I don't think she had a family member, but I think she had family friends that had autism. And I think that's what sparked her to want to do a program with us. So now that we're having this conversation again, I think we're going to, break that out again also and see what's changed. Like, for example, in 2012, it said there was 1 in 88 people are affected or
right
on the spectrum. And, as Officer Krause said, now it's 1 in 59.
59, yeah, that's what I've heard as well.
And it's amazing because going back to the 80s, in 1980, it was 1 in 10,000.
Yeah, isn't that interesting? I think that we're more aware and we're defining. Hopefully, I won't get this.
I think that's a big part, also. Yeah.
What we're defining as autism, and I think it's just we're learning more about our understanding of the human brain and all the wiring. And I'm not a doctor, so I'm not going to pretend to be one, but we're just, growing in